Good morning and welcome to another one of Drew's Book Reviews. So today's book will be on Daniel Abraham's The Tyrants Law. So this is the third book in the Dagger and the Coin series by Daniel Abraham. So definitely go back and check out my reviews on the previous two books if you're so inclined. And we'll get right into it. So in this book we have Getter, who is continuing his campaign across the world under the banner of ridding the world of lies and deceit and corruption. A few different elements to this one. Basically, there is Clara, who is the widow of Dawson, who basically has become quite distraught, reduced to living in poverty and struggling to survive on the street. She has been brought before Getter and his spider priests to determine if she is planning any kind of rebellion or plot against him and his position of power and authority. Now, at the time, she can truthfully say, no, I hadn't even thought about it. I'm just struggling to survive. That thought hadn't even crossed my mind to rebel or plot against you. But, unfortunately for Getter, this effectively gave her the idea to plot against him and to seek to undermine him and destroy his position of power and to take him down. In the meantime, you have Kit and Marcus off seeking this magical, powerful blade, which is designed to kill the goddess. Now, they eventually find the blade, take it back to the sacred temple at which the goddess resides, only to find out that the god is not real, that she doesn't exist in reality in the sacred shrine to her, the room in which she supposedly dwells within the temple. She's nothing more than a large stone statue of this spider. And so that brings about its own trouble. Well, how do you kill a god if it doesn't exist in reality? And how do you stop the advancing of this god's religion and faith? How do you effectively kill an idea? So this idea of how do you kill a god that doesn't exist in reality with no physical presence, this idea plays out a bit in the book, and I really like it. I just want to quote part of the book. It says, none of those men driving children from their homes and families with a knife to the throat, they did it, all of them, because it was just easier not to weigh their conscience against their loyalty to Getter and the crown. And as Kit remarked to the Sithrin, she doesn't even exist. Sithrin replied, she doesn't need to. And that's kind of the whole point. The god itself does not need to exist for the religious fanatics to drive and to take out such extreme violent actions against other individuals in the name of their god. The religious fanaticism is what drives them, whether or not the god of their religion exists in reality. And that's really an idea that kind of plays off in this book, and I love that idea. I was certainly raised religious, so it's very, very interesting to me. It's a subject I'm quite interested in, how the ideals of religion can drive and manipulate the behavior of the individual, sometimes into committing terrible, terrible acts, as we've seen with jihadists and across the world, and not just with one religion, but many different religions have had these jihadist, holy war type aspects to them. And so that concept of religion being the catalyst for acts of extreme violence and immorality throughout this book and this series in general, I think, is just a fascinating concept to explore within this fantasy setting, and I'm really, really enjoying that aspect of this. And Getter Parianko, the regent to Prince Astor, so he's basically the one in charge. He's running the show right now. He's kind of got those aspects of both Hitler and Alexander the Great. Hitler, in the sense that there's this one group of people called the Timizane, or Timzane, who are effectively becoming his scapegoat. He has determined that they're the ones that are plot against him, and they're all out to get him, and they're the horrible traitors to the crown. And so he's basically rounding them up. He's killing them. He's imposing strict rules on them and their behavior. They've got curfews. He's restricting how much this particular race of people can gather together, and just all kinds of limitations and restrictive. It's almost like they're the scapegoat in the way maybe the Jews were for Hitler. But in terms of Alexander the Great, like Alexander the Great, he launched his military campaign across the lands in the known world, burning and destroying any who opposed him, burning cities to the ground like he did the city of Benin. So he's this conqueror and this tyrant at the same time, and he's just wreaking havoc across the land. And he's spreading this cult of the spider goddess with him and their priests, which have this uncanny ability to detect the lies in the words that people speak and say, thus giving Getter the ability to root out all those things that are untruthful, that are deceitful, and giving him this power over the rest of the people that nobody else has. Now, Cithrin's character has become an interesting one. She is this very intelligent, smart woman who knows how to play the banker's game. She knows how to manipulate things. She knows how to get the contract she needs. She's got a good heart, and she wants to help people. But she's also become a bit of a drunken whore or drunken slut. She likes the wine way too much. She drinks way too much. She often wishes she was drunk. And so a bit of an alcoholic, and she has this tendency to basically sleep with anyone who's willing. And that kind of plays into the two contrasting sides of her character, where you got the smart one, you've got the intelligent, sober one, and then you've got the drunken whore who cares nothing for anything, just wants to be piss drunk all the time, and willing to sleep with anyone, just doesn't care. So it's kind of interesting character development we have with Cithrin going on there, and the two different contrasting sides of her. But she is slowly trying to figure things out, and she herself has basically used her abilities and her position, and that Getter Pelianko is crazy mad in love with her, to use that to manipulate him to her advantage so that she could achieve her ends. It will be really interesting to see how that continues to play out throughout the rest of this series. Overall, The Tyrants Law is a really good, enjoyable read. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that you will as well if you just pick that up and read it. Really liking about this series is the dynamic between religious fanaticism and the dangerous, war-filled religious fanaticism, and the apostate who is going out of his way to stop or try to stop and prevent as much bloodshed as possible and restore some kind of balance and order to this. And Getter Pelianko and his complete paranoia about who's plotting against him next. He has virtually no self-confidence in himself. He's constantly questioning everything and relying on his priest to confirm the truth of what's being said or what's being done. But he doesn't seem to have the confidence. It's like he's tripping as he goes along and making things up as it goes along, but in the process he's become quite the tyrant. So that's a really interesting dynamic that we have there. And I'd definitely recommend this for anybody who likes the fantasy type series. This is really a fantastic read. I am really super enjoying it, and I'm sure you will too. So, of course, next up we have Book 4 of The Dagger and the Coin, The Widow's House. And that, I'm sure, will be very interesting. I suspect it is about Clara Dawson's widow, and we will definitely look forward to giving you the review on this, so stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll have the links to my Twitter feed and Facebook page in the description below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or even share these videos and reviews around. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have yourself a great day, and of course, as always, keep on reading, and thanks for watching.